Just in case you thought I forgot. Always and forever. We may not have met Charlie yet, but where's my writing desk? I like that little box with the eye. Okay, now let's go get some shut-eye and... Well, actually, you know what? Before we do any shut-eye, you're probably wondering, what does it look like in this area here? Well, it's everything that they have. See? He's currently wearing default, but all the stuff is available to him that I've purchased in the past. So anything that doesn't have a price, right? Book club. Gun show. Of course that means his guns. Because he's one of the good guy. He don't need that stuff. But anyway, yeah, anything that we had before is fine. Their defaults are fine to start in their outfits, I think. You just want to put their change outfits daily. Is this something? I know that I probably prefer to give him something like this. So it's already there. Certain ones are better with board shorts, certain ones aren't. I didn't even think of that. You know, he's one of those people here who does not like swimming. But if he's got an injury, we need to give it to him. He's good with the trunks, I think. Yeah, so I think I get anything that I gave anybody later. So, wait a minute. Did I do that? Did I turn him on automatic? Yes. Okay, so anybody here, we're just for the sake of it right now, just gonna go automatic. Deadpool. Oh, I already changed his shirt. to his iconic icon there. Which is not going to matter, because if we go to sleep, whatever it is at that time. Oh, why am I even looking? They don't give him anything. It really should have. I mean, maybe there's a mod there that gives him a little something else to wear. I certainly would be for that. Well, a lot of heroes. Morbs. Hello, Morbs. Miko, change your outfit daily. Wanda, change your outfit daily. So, you can make sure. I mean, you don't have to buy them, you already bought them. So there's no prices on the stuff you didn't buy in the previous campaign. And there's one little thing left to do. And that's Deadpool, who has a special swimsuit, for what it's worth. And that's what he's got. Do we have that? Okay, good. It's funny how you select it and it disappears. Okay, now we're ready to go to sleep. Everybody's got like their clothes, they can change whenever, and I'm gonna wish I was running around out there picking stuff because it's raining. It's a great time, and it's a very limited run.
They are everywhere! We must fall back! To where?
The book! Is she reading from the book? Then we advance. No! Hold the line! I can stop her! Only I can stop her!
Charlie! I know. I missed you too.
Let her enjoy the moment. She's been visiting your door every morning for the past 300 years.
Oh, it must have been so hard on her.
Not just her. I suppose that's why I might have been a little curt before.
A little?
You already made the ultimate sacrifice once. Maybe I'm in no rush to see you do it again.
We do not choose our destiny.
But we can choose to duck.
First lesson you ever taught me.
And still the most important. Especially now that you have all these eyes on you.
I have noticed.
To these people, you are a being of myth and legend. A grand hero of old. And they're right. You are a hero. But I also know the battle that rages within your soul. It's not enough that you are a hero. You need to decide what type of hero you will be. I'm sure there will be plenty of opportunity for that in the days to come. For now, I would head to the forge. Our new guests are eager to show you something. This was a lot easier when it was just you and I beheading the Dark Legion as we traipsed through the woods.
Don't forget about Agatha.
I never could. Charlie was restless all night. I should have known something was wrong. We'll talk more later, but for now, Stark has requested your presence in the forge. I think he has another present for you.
Oh, how nice. Hello, baby! Hello!
You have not set anything on fire today, have you?
Yay! Oh, come on, you know we miss her. What I want to know is how come this time I could not get my keys? And no, you still have to use a key to open this, but I should have keys. This is weird. Okay, so Wolverine has his door open. See? Look at that. We have nothing to give him, and we have nothing to put in his window yet. In his frames. I think it's raining out there. Let me see. This is Captain America's room. That was a picture of Bucky Barnes. Oh, I think we have a tarot card. Oh, okay. Strength. Now, I actually printed out a checklist that I made myself in Open Office. I'm very proud of myself. So that was strength. That was way easy. I think we even have a journal entry in this room, as I recall. Question is, where is it? Oh, we have a few things in this room, and I just saw that. Okay, Caretaker's Journal, August 15th. So let's see, August 15th. 1710. Alright. I tried to remind myself that 16 is a young age for so much power, but I still lose my temper at times. This child, nearly grown, is rapidly progressing. The training goes well, and I'm optimistic for how we may be able to combat Lilith in the future, but there have been outbursts. If we cannot control these, I do worry that we may face some unfortunate collateral damage. It sounds so harsh to put these words on page, but this is the reality that I face. Agatha and I have discussed options for controlling this power, but nothing has worked just yet. My latest attempt is to forge a ward to be worn around the neck. If I succeed, it will not only help the child channel this energy, but act as a shield against detection by Lilith or her minions. Only time will tell. Now, I see something here. So you gotta look at everything. Look at everything. And you might actually find a fire rod. Embers swirl in this cloudy crystal, almost too hot to touch. Its surface glows like liquid fire. Glyphs of smoke resolve and vanish around a core of obsidian glass. Obsidian is usually a stone that's associated with fire because it's made from cooled lava. Now, that's something else we're going to have to look into here as we wander around the Abbey, is look for some stuff that we can give people. Now this is Morbius's room. He's got some of his experiments here. And over here is, I think, is Captain Marvel's room. This is Blade's room. So a lot of people have their doors open this morning. Oh, this wonderful bit of mess is, he's making a puppet show, is Deadpool's room. He left some pizza. And that 1980s or 1990s swimsuit issue they made at Marvel. There's Midnight Sun's Monopoly. So what else? Well, I don't know. I'm going to wait, and I know they're going to be unhappy about that. Too bad. It rained. I want to get reagents. I want to mark whatever I can. Ah, The Damsel and Orlando is the first of our masterworks. So the Damsel and Orlando gets crossed out. You have collected a masterwork. In addition to the paintings already hanging in the Abbey walls, masterworks can be found scattered around the Abbey Grounds. Masterworks can be hung in any empty frames inside the Abbey. And to clarify, you could also remove existing masterworks that are already in frames and put up other ones. If that's your thing, do it. Now, some of these will not be accessible until we get to a certain level. So, but there's still plenty to explore. Oh, come on. You're the hunter. Should be able to go over a couple of rocks. Now, there should be some witch hazel. And maybe... Really? I would expect with a rain like that, and us having done it, chicken mushrooms. There. There's our first witch hazel. There's an incentive. The sooner you collect them, the better you can hit the ground running. I know the Mystics want to help out because I don't remember how I defeated Lilith, so I'm sure pretty early on we're going to have a meeting for that, right? that is part of a plot, so I'm gonna wait till I get there. That's something that we'll have to get to as well at some point. Might be something over here. Yes! Evening in the Woods. There's another masterwork. Evening in the Woods. Okay. Card. The sun. Well, well. Johnny Storm leaps into the sky and blazes bright, showcasing his exceptional power with extreme control. This card represents an abundance of energy as well as optimism and joy. Of course, Johnny Storm is the Human Torch. Here, as far as I know. I thought there was another masterwork in this area. I could be mistaken. Now this is an interesting place if you haven't seen my run-throughs before. This crater was left when I had my final battle with Lilith. There's our first Wolfsbane. So that's all that was left. And they found us dead. And one went off to be in a crypt in Transia, and one went off to be in a crypt up the hill in Hunter's Folly. This is where... Interesting how there's some Stark stuff here already. But this is where the Hellride is for Ghost Rider. And he tinkers with it. He sees it as a kind of like a workshop. AKA the shop. Tell you, there's enough for conjuring and for making soup. And because heroes aren't part of the story yet, or the DLCs are definitely not part of the story yet, you'll see usually them doing a lot of generic things like hanging around. I'm surprised he's not saying anything to us, because he's Mr. Fourth Wall.
Hey, if we get enough members, we could start a cult.
Got any chocolate? We feel a craving coming on.
That's Venom, of course.
Dr. Strange is fascinating. His magic is incredibly powerful.
I have lots to talk about. Too much.
You got her. Big question, who's hanging at the pool right now? Nobody's hanging at the pool. Coolness. That's unusual on a nice day like this. Now this too is an interesting place we have to see in a future time when the story is relevant.
This is which sign?
Nothing here now, but there may be soon when it becomes part of the story. No one makes something like this unless there's, you know, something important. You don't make a unique location. This too, we don't have access to yet, but we will. here's an interesting one. Oh, they don't want me to jump from a... They're very selective of when you can jump from a height. I happen to know there's a... That was the last one from last time, so I remember. Heart's Ease Masterwork. We could see all of them if we want in the in Superlink, because that's where the galleries are for all the images we collect or create. Oh.
The grave of Jeremiah Kane, another host of the spirit of vengeance. I wonder if he was as conflicted as Robbie is about being a ghostwriter.
Now, my understanding is Jeremiah Kane was a freed slave, which makes me wonder why his voice in that dream that that Hunter had. There was a reenactment of what happened during the previous, the last fight, and he did not sound like he may have been African or African American or anything. So it was a pretty generic man's voice. So I don't know how much they really take into consideration for coaching, but then again, the way Doctor Strange pronounces things like Agamotto's gaze instead of Agamotto's gaze does tell me that there wasn't all that much.
Next thing I know, the sanctum is airborne and covered in slime.
I don't get it. Strange couldn't just magic his way in?
Something about the whole alien thing threw off his mojo.
That explains so much. No wonder he gets so strange around me. See what I did there?
I'm a vampire. I see everything.
This is gonna be a fun apocalypse.
Hi, Wolverine. He doesn't talk too much.
Oh, check out Blade making nice with the big guns.
I thought Caretaker told him no more guns in the house.
Captain Marvel is an exception.
So, he's supposed to be playing nice, right?
Right, and now Stark is hard at work in the Forge coming up with something for the Hunter?
The Hunter needs it after that last beating.
Man, can't wait till it's my turn for an upgrade.
Prepare for a long wait.
For all of us. Or hasn't it sunk into that flaming skull of yours yet?
Hey, don't take it so personally. It's not like they forgot about us.
We'll see.
Well, well.
Do I look like a Tony?
They're dropping hints.
Not that it makes any difference to me, but I think Tony's waiting for you, Hunter. He seemed excited.
Heard about what happened in New York, Hunter. I'm sure whatever Tony's cooking up down there will only help.
So let's see. Studies in Bedevilment by Balthak. Now the other thing I want to look for is, well, at this point you got to hit the ground running. There's Peter Parker. We want to see if there are any free common gifts that we can take people on hangouts. Well, I'm just going to stand over here until that thing cooks, Tony. That magic of yours, you get any kind of advanced radiological chemical protection out of that? Tony? Almost there. You're doing great, Doc. Tony! And we're done. See, that wasn't so bad. You can stop bearing your knowledge now. You know, I never heard that before. Okay. July 13th, 1689, Caretaker's Journal. July 13th. I have June 13th. I guess I'm... Oh, it is July 13th. No, that's right, I got it. A coven of witches from across the sea has sent for our help. I regret that I cannot do more, but Lilith and I are stretched to our limits. I've sent a moon seal to their home in Salem by way of the Knights of Wundagore. I have no doubt this will take care of the troubles they face. We learn over the course of this that this is actually transient property. Aha, November 23rd is the next one. We have moved the Abbey from our transient home to Salem, and I must confess I'm astounded at the natural beauty of this place. But there is no time for sentiment. We have a job to do. Cthulhu has found influence here with Hiram Shaw through a page of the Darkhold. The Moon Seal did not bring the witches the protection it should have. Several have been killed already. There is no telling how far this dark power could go. For now we watch from the safety of the Abbey, hidden away amongst the thick woodland. We must understand what it is we face. Come on. No freebie little gifts that we can pick up and take? I am crushed. Crushed, I say! Okay, so these two have been working on stuff.
Now? Think you can tell your friend inside there to turn it up a few hundred Kelvin?
I could. However, it might shatter the containment spell preventing him from incinerating this facility.
I think we're good. And just in time.
The Forge has certainly changed.
Right. Caretaker said this all happened after your siesta. What spooky castle would be complete without its own Babylonian demon-powered furnace?
Sumerian fire demon. His name is Babs.
Oh, now it all makes sense. Well, once you get past the esoteric terror of the situation, I've found this thing actually has some uses. Molecular bonding, breaking down evil gamma serums, fashion accessorizing.
Yes, speaking of...
Oh, right. It's ready.
Your armor seemed to offer minimal protection against the venom creature.
I noticed.
Yeah, I thought you could use an upgrade.
Well hammered. Well fired. Caretaker did not mention that you two were such skilled smithies.
Yep. I am Iron Smithy.
Perhaps you should just try it on.
And we'll watch. Oh, maybe they actually turned around. That's nice. Yeah. New car smell.
Still think it could have used a cloak.
Stylish, damn near indestructible, and we even got the size right. Not bad for our first collaboration.
I still think it could have benefited from a cloak.
You think everything could benefit from a cloak?
I do not.
Oh, I've heard the things you whisper to your cape when you think no one's listening.
Ah, the joys of sharing a workspace. And I'll have you know this cloak has helped me save the universe from extinction on countless occasions.
Could you at least tell it to stop rearranging things on my side of the cave?
I have, but it considers you something of a slob.
You know, I have a great psychiatrist in the city. Maybe you should talk to him. Although, I think he's working for Hydra right now.
Yeah, you say he's crazy, but you're the one saying, can you get your cape to stop rearranging stuff on my side? Oh, see? That's his happy place, I think, besides working out. Hi, Steve.
If I didn't know better, I'd guess this was the place that made Thor's hammer.
Hey there.
I never expected I'd be here. Before I met you, I didn't even know this place existed.
Hi, Morbs. And thanks for the... See, we've already got more money than we can shake a stick at.
Intriguing.
Wooden chest with brass hardware containing glass vials. This is Dr. Strange's work areas.
Curious.
Cluttered table with books. Some of them are older than you, and you are quite old. Yeah, I bet Morbs is looking forward to his lab. It has to be reconstructed. Hold on a second. I saw an essence here when I was entering. Okay, so there's other things, by the way. Hiding behind this table is Moon Knight. Da Moon. Let me take that out. Da Moon. I also think the star is here too, because I've done that before. Moon Knight hides his true identity behind his cloak and shadow. This card represents deception, but also creativity and the unconscious. Where else? All those things we gotta put in. We have to do item benches and all kinds of equipment for our heroes. There you go. The star. Nova rises up into the starry night sky, surrounded by stars that represent the support of his team. This card symbolizes serenity and hope for the future.
Fascinating.
One of Tony's many Iron Man suits, polished to a high gloss. Though it is powered off, the eyes seem to follow you. I don't see how that's possible. It doesn't have little eyes in there. But hey, it is what it is. Oh.
Hey, Hunter.
Hi, I forgot to see this.
Ah, I see.
We want our arcane knowledge. One of Strange's capes, suspended in an ornate glass case. The cloak, hello, actually he does wear it like a cape, floats in the air, rippling slightly, though the air is still. That's why they're watching, going, that is the darndest thing.
That is something.
The Orb of Agamotto. Strange's Orb of Agamotto, and that's how it's pronounced, friends. One of few artifacts recovered from the Sanctum Sanctorum. This was, as I said in my previous stream, there was some time between arriving in the Abbey and realizing there was a problem and going off to try to rescue the Sanctum and Wanda. There was actually, hey, I need some equipment, porting it over. So before the trouble happened, this was brought over. So it wasn't really recovered. It was already here before it happened. A powerful energy emanates from the inside as the orb seems to rotate indefinitely. And this is one of Doctor Strange's most powerful artifacts that he uses. So a lot of his griping and a lot of they claim is really not accurate.
Hello. I hate to admit it, but somehow this ancient forge puts any arc reactor I've got to shame. Who would have thought mystically bound demon power would be so damn energy efficient? Or carbon neutral? Certainly got that new suit of yours done a lot faster than I expected. Speaking of, what's the verdict, boss?
Well, I have not had a fight yet. But I will ask this, as I often do.
Tell me about this demon. Why is it there?
Well, you would probably know more about that than me. I'm still working on a way to keep track of everything that goes bump in the night around here. Whatever they've got trapped down there, it's hotter than hell by a few thousand Kelvin, very pissed off, and really good at weaving synthetic microblends. The tools are just one part of the equation. You gotta know how to use them too. You were out, what, 300 years before we woke you from your eternal rest? I'm betting you have questions, so ask away, Hunter.
Okay. So, here we go.
I take it this new version is a technological marvel?
Impact-resistant carbon composites, some patent-pending alloy mesh, and a few touches from Dr. Spooky over there. And hey, the built-in communicator means we can talk to each other without sending a raven.
So it is a marvel, then?
Lightweight, nearly indestructible, and modular enough for future upgrades. Frankly, I wouldn't have used your old suit to wax the Mandarin's car.
Oh, he likes doing a lot of name dropping that make absolutely no sense to the hunter. Or to half the people playing this game, I think. Oh, please.
Is all this magic a threat to your new technology?
It might surprise some people to hear this, but I do like some things with rules. Isotope decay, magnetic fields, and gamma oscillation make a lot more sense to me than Eye of Newt, bat wings, and a sprinkle of sunshine. At least they did before everything changed.
You know, they really aren't friends. I don't know, maybe somebody bought into some of the fanfic, but they're not really friends, dear or otherwise. Let's just...
Gamma seems to be a recurring theme these days.
Oh, you think I'm bad? You should ask Bruce. Actually, don't. He's been really sensitive since... You know what? Never mind.
Yeah, we don't know Bruce. Oh, they don't want to go into that anymore. Okay.
Seen anything strange around here?
What, other than my roommate? Boom! Roasted! But on a more serious note, this place is legitimately haunted. Mirrors look back at you. My room rearranges itself. And worst of all, magic cats.
Was it suspiciously elusive, even for a cat?
Actually, yes. Thought I was going crazy there for a second, but clearly I'm still firing on all cylinders. It just poofed in next to me out in the yard. Small, black, furry. Cute little thing. Probably some kind of shape-shifting monster knowing this place.
Maybe.
What sorts of things are you doing in here?
Oh, that's right. You were out a while. Basically, we've got a gigantic demon inside the magic box here that provides near limitless power for whatever we might need. Sounds insane, but sometimes it's easier to just go with it.
Okay, so why not magically create a way through that symbiote shield?
Have you ever known it to work that way? We can't just wish upon a star here. We need to know what we're making first and put together the right components. Otherwise, I'd have already whipped up Strange a new personality.
Okay.
You must have an interesting origin story of your own.
Well, just your typical American boy. Pops was a founding member of the military-industrial complex. Mom, a famous socialite. Tragedy struck when I lost them both in a car crash, which turned out to be a hit from a rival corporation. I spent my early teens at MIT, trying to clear my head. I was all set to follow in Dad's footsteps as a war profiteer. Then one day, fortune shined on me, in the form of some errant shrapnel that lodged itself just above my heart. So I did what anybody in that situation would do. I built a supersuit and started fighting crime.
We want to make an impression. We can't say that, though we'd like to. This all worked out in the end.
I guess we have all had difficult childhoods here.
Yeah, no kidding. I can't tell you how hard it was to memorize all that at Skrull Sleeper Camp. Just kidding. Or am I?
See, I don't get it because I don't know they're shapeshifters.
Thanks for catching me up on things.
Anytime. Oh, and speaking of things, remember that creepy gamma goop you found from that hopped-up Hydra soldier? Well, I gave it a peek, and it explains a lot. If you have a minute, meet me at the anvil over there, and I'll walk you through it. I promise it'll be worth your time.
Okay. This is our first gamma coil. This is going to be our only gamma coil for the moment, because one of the earlier research projects is to upgrade and offer more of them in an analysis. So we may hold on to the next one.
Now, I doubt advanced gamma thermodynamics was a hot topic at ye old demon hunting school, so I'm just going to give you the condensed version.
I appreciate that.
Closest I've ever seen to this substance is pumping through Bruce's veins. Part gamma accelerant, part unknown element. Calling it coil for now, given its unique atomic structure. Man, I love acronyms. This stuff is more volatile than Nick Fury on a Monday morning. But Hydra doesn't seem to mind.
They are using it to get stronger.
Exactly. A few drops would make your average salamander look like Fin Fang Foom.
Well,
thankfully, with a little help from Dr. Spooky and our haunted oven over here, I think two can play at this game.
You are not suggesting we start injecting ourselves with it.
No, nothing like that. Though I can see some future applications for my energy drink line. I was thinking we apply this stuff towards upgrading our equipment.
I like where this is going.
Just give me a little time here and I can whip up some pretty fun toys. How about we give Hydra a taste of their own gamma-powered medicine for a change? Hey, Hunter.
Okay. Tony Stark can use the coil material recovered in combat to create hero abilities. Only one of the abilities on offer can be selected, so choose wisely. Are we even going to need it? No, we won't.
Analyzing now. How does this look?
See, when we upgrade it, it'll be 4 of them. So we could always do this, take it, and why do they think it's... Oh, because I don't like them and I don't use them, and we're going to be a light hunter. But we're going to take this anyway and we're going to salvage it.
Hunter, when you have a minute, come meet me in the yard.
Okay. You have gained a copy of a currently equipped ability. If taken to the yard, duplicate abilities can be combined into new, more powerful versions. You've gained a new combat ability for a hero. Open their hero screen to equip this new ability, or get rid of it. Maybe we don't have access to get rid of it yet. We'll find out. The hero screen can be opened at any time in the Abbey using the number 1. Oh, look at that. Equip and salvage. Oh, we can. Abilities can be equipped or swapped with the cards already in a hero's combat deck. Any unused abilities should be salvaged for essence, which is required for upgrades, items, and more. So, we're going to go to... Oh, did I forget whose? It was... Yeah, that's right, it was mine. And, you know, as you also upgrade further down, you can get more for your... Really? You're not gonna let me, We can't do it yet. Let's put it that way. Interesting. All these... How we can get rid of them. Okay, so the next person to speak with before going to the yard...
Ah, Hunter. Word? Hunter, your new attire suits you quite well. But how are you holding up on the inside? I know it's easy to look upon me and simply see the universe's utmost authority on all things mystical and macabre, Hunter. However, in addition to being Earth's Sorcerer Supreme, I am also your doctor.
You mean a physician of the medical arts? You jest.
I assure you, Hunter, I do not jest. They don't call me Mr. Strange, now do they? Except for Tony. Your awakening ritual was admittedly a touch more chaotic than I had originally intended, and, well, after your violent encounter with Venom, my oath to Hippocrates compels me to check in with you. Simply put, how do you feel?
Feelings are irrelevant. Rah 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 rah. Gotta have soul in this. I could do that, but I'm also, as a hunter, I'm a defender, and I'm thinking of other people.
You lost much yesterday, Doctor. I am the one who should be asking you how you are feeling.
I appreciate that, Hunter. I admit I did not expect the child of Lilith to have the capacity for such empathy. And you're right, of course. I, for one, do not know if I will ever feel 100% again after the events of yesterday. I still can't believe what transpired. The sanctum, all that knowledge, Wanda, lost. Swallowed whole by the black mouth of that foul venom creature. With all my resources, all my gifts, I should have seen this outcome spelled out in the sacred geometry of this universe years ago. But I miscalculated.
And the Orb of Agamotto is what he usually consults for these. See where I'm going with that? Plot hole. No, you let your guard down. Rah, 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 rah. No, we will not use that. Thank you. You know, sometimes that isn't the sign of strength and bravery. It really isn't. Well,
Lilith's power has placed a dark shroud over us all, Doctor. You are not alone in this.
Your words are appreciated. Still, I must not allow the underlying truth of the situation to become shrouded as well. It's not just the Sanctum Sanctorum that was lost yesterday. It was my protege, Wanda. She is my charge, my responsibility, and I failed her. But I am determined not to let that happen with you, Hunter, which is why I am here to answer any questions you may have. Perhaps my wisdom may benefit you more than it has me thus far.
So his lines of question are the only ones that have nothing to do with how he became a sorcerer. Everything is Venom, it's about the Sanctum, it's about what happened to Wanda, it's about the plot stuff, and they kind of avoid that. Those get... Well, in my very first run-through, which was not streamed, way back in autumn, and maybe that was changed with an upgrade, he actually revealed some of it in casual, text chat over in the yard when he was doing target practice, and I've not been able to shake that loose and trigger that again. But he does reveal a lot during our hangouts when we meet, and that's where he reveals things, because when no one else is there, he lets his guard down and becomes a little more human, or as they say, he becomes a mensch. Okay.
That creature on the roof, you have run into it before?
Unfortunately, yes. In the simplest of terms, Venom is an alien species living in symbiosis with a human known as Eddie Brock. He's something of a fixture in New York these days, but typically his hijinks are confined to harassing Spider-Man.
How does Eddie feel about this arrangement?
He seems to relish the experience. And under Lilith's spell, they've clearly become more cohesive than ever before.
Tell me about your Sanctum's wards of protection. I have never heard of a protection spell that powerful.
In your time, I'm sure you've encountered a variety of minor wards and protective spells. The Sanctum Sanctorum was shielded by one such incantation, but greatly amplified by the convergence of ley lines.
Ley lines?
Often dismissed as pseudoscience in the modern day, ley lines actually represent the convergence of magical energies formed within the Earth itself. Ancient civilizations built their temples along these lines, tapping into the power flowing through them. 2 such lines converge at the Sanctum's location. Needless to say, the wards benefit greatly.
And no one has ever broken the spell? Ever?
There's always a first for everything, but I had honestly never imagined a scenario in which the wards could be broken. Perhaps it was arrogance on my part, but Lilith is among the more cunning enemies we've ever faced.
How did Wanda come into your care?
Wanda's story is quite tragic and perhaps not mine to tell. There was an accident on the Abbey Grounds not long ago involving Agatha.
That must have been some accident.
Agatha had been teaching Wanda, hoping she would learn to control her immense but very raw power. As their training progressed, Wanda was encouraged to push herself further. Eventually, she pushed too far.
That kind of power sounds like it could be dangerous.
We don't truly know the extent of Wanda's power, and in that respect, you two are very similar. Were she here now, I think you would have found her to be a kindred spirit.
And you have been keeping an eye on her?
You make it sound like I've been guarding her. My role here is merely one of friendship for as long as she needs it. One thing is certain. She refuses to step foot on the Abbey Grounds for any reason.
I feel like everyone is avoiding mention of Agatha.
I can't say I'm surprised, but I'm afraid it's really not my place. You should speak to Sarah about her when you're ready.
Let us talk later.
Visit whenever you like. It's not often I get to converse with a true legend.
It's very nice of him. Oh, I'm wearing my outfit today. Is there anything else here that I haven't selected? I don't think so. Everything here is good. Remember, anything that you notice and take a look at that are selectable are,
Welcome to the yard. At least that's what we're calling it these days.
Ooh.
Caretaker put me in charge of your training. Too bad she didn't listen to me yesterday. Now that we know what we're up against, I think we can all use the practice. Any questions?
Well, yeah, but they're about you.
I did, but they are about you.
Right when it's time to train? From all Sarah told us about you, she never described you as lazy.
Everyone loves you when you are dead. Tell me, does that mean you are half-loved?
She didn't describe you as a snaky jackass, but here we are. All right, Tony Stark Jr., ask your questions.
Oh, he got pissed off. Okay.
Can I ask about you?
I guess.
Is your name really Blade?
Is your name really the Hunter?
Yes.
Oh, really? Your mom, before she became the mother of demons, looked into your cradle and decided to name her firstborn child the Hunter.
That is how I understand it.
It takes all kinds.
So, is your name really Blade?
No.
What is it?
It's private.
Is it embarrassing?
No, the Hunter, but I only share it with friends.
You do not consider me a friend?
Not yet. Don't take it personally.
We'll get there.
How did you become a Dampier?
You say that like I had a choice. I was born this way.
How is that possible?
A vampire bit my mother. Problem was, I was still in the womb. I'm lucky I was even born. Don't know if that's how it always is, but that's the way it went down for me.
How long have you been around?
I don't exactly know. I think of myself as mid-20s maybe. I lost a lot of time. Much of the last century was a blur. I have occasional memories, almost like coming up for air before being yanked back down into the depths.
What happened?
I killed a lot of vampires. I hadn't lost my mind exactly, but I got into a rhythm and never stopped. Never had a reason to stop. Not until I met Caretaker.
And then?
She gave me a reason to stop.
What brought you to the Abbey?
Caretaker. About 10 years ago, she brought me back to the real world. Gave me a place to stay until I came back to myself.
Did she ever say why?
She said she thought I'd be able to kill more vampires if I was acting on more than just instinct. But I know it was more than that. She gave me safe haven here at the Abbey. Something I'd never known. Must have read half the books in the library by the time I headed out. So when she reached out and asked me to be part of this weird little club, of course I showed up.
Tell me about the Midnight Suns.
All right.
Why did you join? Vampire hunting is a solitary affair.
Guess I never found the right team.
Is that all?
No, but that's all I'll share for now. You really want to know? Put in the work. If I trust you, I'll have more to say.
What can you tell me about the others?
Nothing. Ask them yourself.
I'm not asking you to break anyone's confidence.
Fine. Which one?
Tell me about Miko.
She's the youngest, but she acts like she's in charge.
Why let her act like that?
She's usually right, and she keeps us on track. I didn't think we'd get along, but we wouldn't be the Midnight Suns without her.
What makes you say that?
She has a lot of heart, and that's why we let her. Anybody else?
What about Robbie?
He's exactly what he seems. Well, sort of. He's open with people, easygoing. Sometimes that comes across as dopey, but don't get the wrong impression. He's quick to make friends, and once he does, he's your friend for life. So don't let him down, or I'll hold it against you. Anybody else?
What do you know about magic?
Keeps to herself.
That is it?
She's a private person. Until she lets you in, that's all you need to know.
When does she let people in?
At her own pace. Respect that, and it'll happen faster than you think. Anybody else?
Tell me what you think of Sarah.
Well, there are a few people I tolerate, even less who I like. Sarah I respect. She sees the big picture, and we're a part of it. I'd follow her to hell if I had to. And from what I understand, we may have to.
I am surprised she commands such respect.
I'm surprised that you're surprised. You know what she's like more than any of us.
I do.
Anybody else?
Nobody else.
Sure.
Is there more that we're not aware of?
Do you have any thoughts on the team as a whole?
I think we're the only ones aware of the danger Lilith poses to this world. And I think we're pretty green. But enough training will get us through it. Speaking of training, we doing this, or are we gonna keep wasting daylight?
Yeah.
I am ready to train.
Finally.
Oh, are we done? Oh, look. Somebody's taking a break. He's got his emo kid shirt on. You gotta love that. Oops. Oh, wait. She's right here. Duh.
Hunter.
Good to see you, Hunter. Like the way you move out there, Hunter. Guess Dr. Strange picked the right supernatural demon hunter to resurrect. I'm Carol Danvers. You can call me Captain Marvel. Kidding. Carol's fine. Just thought I'd throw a bone to the Avengers PR team. Not gonna lie, going a few rounds in Vampire Guy's Magic Thunderdome sounds like fun, but we've got bigger fish to fry. Well, not so much fish as that ginormous invulnerable sewer monster that swallowed the Sanctum.
Every lock has its key.
True, if only a man-eating alien demon monster hadn't eaten ours. But that got me thinking. Strange, Caretaker, and the rest of the funky bunch can try and magic their way through that shield all they want. If my time as a pilot taught me one thing, it's that sometimes you've gotta find a workaround. As in Hydra, they've gotta know the way inside. Steve's always said they aren't much for talking. But then again, I'm told I can be rather persuasive when I need to be.
She forgets that I'm part of the funky bunch too.
Just how far are you willing to go, Captain?
Let's just say that I'm willing to unleash the power of a quantum singularity white hole on them if need be.
A quantum what?
You'll see. Find me in the war room when you're finished here. There's a few things we should discuss. Oh, and Hunter? Welcome back from the dead.
Okay, now I'm gonna see her in the other room.
Nothing is certain these days, but these readings are too distinct to ignore. The gamma signature is...
Sorry, Bruce, we lost you. Did you say gamma?
Yes,
Hang on a second. Come on, Tony. You managed to stream the Super Bowl to a Kree battleship 50 light-years out. This should be easy.
Oh, we waited all year for that game, and you know the Skrulls would have spoiled it for us if they got the chance.
Well, can't you just... I don't know.
Work my magic again? See, that's the problem. This time I am working with actual magic, and let me tell you, it sucks.
Oh, hey, Hunter.
Ow. The gamma signature is completely inverted. The daughter nuclei are being reabsorbed into the parent nuclei, which is impossible.
If the gamma signature from the Sanctum is really that unique, Bruce, then couldn't we just...
Sorry, still working out a few gremlins in the system.
Try sunlight, and whatever you do, avoid water.
Oh, wait, you're being serious?
We should be able to track this new gamma signature to its source then, right? I'd do it myself, but we seem to be having a little IT trouble today.
Please. Old Central here is ready to grind through that data like chum.
What exactly is a central?
CENTRAL. Cognitive encryption, net transmogrification. We'll figure it out later.
Sending coordinates now. Hope your gremlins enjoy gamma spectroscopy.
Ah, well, he's been a little moody lately, ever since, you know, the problem with the big old green guy.
I heard that.
Banner can't turn into the Hulk? Not sure if we should be frightened or relieved.
That makes two of us.
Oh, hey. Come on. Happens to everyone. Well, okay, not everyone.
Nice work, Bruce.
I know that place. Creepy abandoned warehouse in the bad guy part of town.
My favorite kind. Anybody up for paying it a visit?
Definitely.
Aw, see that? Teamwork goosebumps.
Find me when you're ready.
Oh, we've got another story mission, friends.
Multi-million-dollar piece of experimental technology, and she kicks it.
Well, we have another one. So let's get ready. This is going to be with myself and Carol.
It was just recently that the Hudson Yards Development Restoration Association purchased this entire block. I'll let you think about that one for a minute.
Oh, that it stands for Hydra? Hudson Yards, etc. Heroes have identified an abandoned warehouse where Hydra may be operating. Blade and Hunter join Captain Marvel to investigate. We're gonna have our first artifact in the next stream when we acquire this here. So, okay. Carol's pretty optimized. Let's see what we have here. Do we want to change what we have? We have Quick Slash. We may not need Quick Slash. I'm a big fan of the Deadly Ground. It gives us heroism. This thing, they're not going to let us... Oh, we got rid of it. Thank you. How nice of them. Mindbenders, yummy. Inspire is free and turns a heroic card to 0. We also have Holy Burst, which we've used before, which takes out villains while healing heroes in the same radius, aka area of effect. Bands of Fire is my other quick card, but it knocks back in any direction. You don't have to line up for the shot. I like that. I like this, I like another passive of mine that I have. One of them is kind of cool. Usually I like the fully charged because I'll either get a resist so I'm not injured, or it'll give me heroism. So it's all, you know, good. The other thing that we have, I don't know, you know what? I'm going to take a look for a moment. I'm not looking to change, but I'm going to make sure I have my ancestral... So yeah, I still have my ancestral outfit. Yes. This is what you get, by the way, when you finish a campaign and you have a cloak that you can put on and off. And I think they could have done a better job. This looks so bad Batman to me. Anyway, we're keeping what we have. Everybody's got good stuff. Let's do it. We don't have combat. We don't have combo cards with two heroes fighting together yet. We have a lot of things we don't have yet.
Let's see. Trench coat, sunglasses at night, brooding personality. Something tells me these midnight warehouse raids are pretty normal for you.
Very.
This area in particular?
Occasionally. Good for a late night snack.
Oh.
The falafel place down the road. Stays open till 3.
Oh, right, sure. Only maybe next time say it less vampire-y.
Now, you can say anything about falafel any way you want if it's a good place. I miss falafel.
One of these days, I'll join you on a mission, and you will see what I am really capable of.
I look forward to when we have options.
Gamma signatures and unstable isotopes aren't really in my wheelhouse, so we'll be patching Dr. Banner through from Avengers Tower once you reach the other side.
Almost feels like cheating with you two on our side.
Not bad for
a first team up. Well, we didn't get there yet, but we'll see. This is, I suppose, where Blade starts developing an appreciation for Carol Danvers.
Probably can scratch abandoned off the description of this place. You seeing this, Bruce? Getting all sorts of weird down there.
Johann Fenhoff. That was dead. Well, hoped is perhaps the more accurate description.
Calls himself Faustus now.
Smartest fanatic in the room. It's a small room.
Hydra's resident mad scientist.
Not just Hydras. Liliths. That's magic coming from those crates. I can feel it.
Yeah? How about gamma radiation? You feeling that too? Because that's some pretty evil-looking Hydra tech down there.
Gamma and magic.
I need you to use your science brain on this one, Bruce.
We need to approach this situation carefully. Combining those energies is an explosive proposition at best. Think scalpel, not hammer. Stealth, not strength.
Yeah, I don't do stealth.
Kill them.
Okay. Defeat all enemies to complete the encounter.
I always considered Faustus a bit of a crackpot, but his fundamental science must be sound. The device would have surely exploded otherwise after your display, Carol.
Learned it by watching you, Bruce.
About time.
Interesting.
Let's see what we have here. A pain in the butt. Pain in the butt. Pain in the butt. 2 minions.
Get some.
Feeling strong today.
Good. Got a nice level up on him. Oh, see now. I can learn to love that.
Do not bother running.
I like the way you move, Hunter. Now you are another story. Look at this. 120. We want to hold that for the next one. But you.
They're mine.
Whoa! He fell. He fell through the skylight. Yeah, when you do New Game Plus, the early ones are pretty quick. They pick up.
Now, quickly! Let's go, go, go!
Picking up stuff from trucks.
The perfect opportunity to field test Mother's device.
Watch out!
Get her!
We got our first shield dude. Retrieve the mysterious artifact from the truck. Break the Hydra shield guard's protection to access the truck. Use the recover artifact card to secure the artifact.
For the record, Bruce, I did not smash that thing.
Noted, Carol. Perhaps you might direct all that energy towards your newfound adversaries instead. And the mysterious cargo they're attempting to escape with?
Any objective that is protected cannot be completed. Reduce the Hydra shield guard's block to 0 in order to break protection. Well, I got something else for that.
I guess you don't know who I am.
Problem is, we got a lot of these things we don't need.
Time to bleed.
Oh.
That was something.
If only I had... If only I had another quick card. Oh. Oh, she can quick jab this one. Oh, wait a minute. I made... This one's a knockback.
Is that all?
Leave some for the rest of us.
I'm just trying to clear these little ones.
It's about time.
Now. This is our ace in the hole, friends. Go attack your friend. Twice.
Finally, it's my turn. Time for the real thing.
And while he's not looking... finish them off, of course.
One less thing to worry about. Approximately 16,342 more to go. I suggest starting with the remaining Hydra forces in your vicinity.
Just like old times.
Not bad either.
Watch out.
Hmm. Yeah, if I do that, that'll give me what I need to finish him. Wait a minute, apply a week. Fist of Radiance. Yeah. I could see that. Oh. I could really see that.
Let's do it. Seems like it'd be cheaper just to replace you guys with robots. I bet Tony would cut Faustus a deal. Watch this.
There you go.
Never seen that before.
At least Hydra Green is iconic. If you're a low-rent mercenary, I mean.
No, she would have gotten binary if it wasn't... But Captain Marvel can now go binary. Playing 3 Captain Marvel cards will draw the Go Binary ability in her binary state. Captain Marvel will deal significantly more damage. She will lose her binary state once all her block has been removed. But since we finished the mission, I don't think we're going to have that today. Oh, really? Oh, that's right. This guy's left. Oh, that's right.
Not a problem.
Okay, we're also not done with her yet. See this? Oh, I thought. Oh well. I thought we had something. I thought we had a thing. That's okay. He's not gonna hurt anyone.
You're not serious, right?
Preliminary analysis of the blast confirms high levels of gamma and various unknown.
Oh yeah?
Unknown to you, there is dark magic at work here. We must not let Hydra escape with it.
We've done it!
Think I can punch through a moon now?
Hope not.
What is this thing?
Bad guy crate, full of bad guy stuff.
I know those symbols from the time of the first hunt. That glyph means barrier, that one almighty. Something, something, gods and demons.
So a spooky bad guy crate.
Very spooky. Designed to contain powerful magic. Be careful.
Got it. Don't cross the streams.
Never do. How about we get this thing back to the Abbey and see for ourselves?
Okay, well, you know, we had a lot of people in this. She's not going to get it herself. The Midnight Redeemers. I guarantee there'll be more characters. Let's get rid of some of this stuff. Okay. Oh, we don't add a character. I'm surprised they're not letting Faustus on this. They've done that before. Okay. Well, knowing how this works. There. See, that's a nice candid for someone's wall. The lighting's good. I just want to have a better backdrop if possible. We always have ones for the city. Oh, that's kind of cool, actually. So I would say that is good. We're gonna artifact. Yay, we get gloss like we need gloss. Do we need gloss? I don't think we need gloss. I don't know. I could go into the gloss reselling business. Nice cushy career. Okay, we're back.
Nice job out there, kid. I mean, I didn't get Hydra bombed until my 10th run with the Avengers.
Kid? You do know that I'm a good 3 centuries older than you, right?
Then you've got a lot of catching up to do.
Okay, Abbey tournament tonight.
Sure about that? Last one got a little heated.
The eternal spirits of vengeance take technical fouls very seriously, especially in the fourth quarter.
Forget it. Tonight is movie night.
It is always movie night.
Exactly.
Wow, out of jail again? Who made this game? Wilson Fisk?
Well, if parking is free, clearly no one from Manhattan.
You know what they say? All work and no play is how we ended up with Ultron. Come on, you should hang out.
I should rest. Another time.
Well, the thing is about this is...
Let me see. How did this work again?
She got a beep and she doesn't know how to answer it. Oh. Now, just so you can see, you click gallery or click this. See, there's your picture. Say Blade or arcane levels are getting better. Say Blade or Carol has a door open in their quarters in the morning. I can put this in one of their frames. The horizontal frame is perfect for a shot like this. And if you want to see in inventory, you can see what those masterworks look like that we have already acquired. See? Evening in the Woods, Damsel and Orlando. So those are the pictures. And the one we just made. So, there you go. Resources. I don't know why we don't have... I don't know why we don't have our... The keys should have carried over. That it did last time, and I certainly didn't... I didn't prevent it. So it's very unusual the keys didn't happen. I had about 12 or 13 of them in the previous game, and I had plans. Oh, by the way, I know where there's another rod, so that'll be something worth getting. The water rod is in Superlink. Oh, and while we've been busy, there's been more things. Okay, I think we went over that one. Swooping in at the last second to save the day, leading away that carnivorous sludge monster to keep New York City safe. Just gonna say it, he's the #astounding Spider-Man. He had too many words. Don't let those words or the red and blue pajamas fool you. Spider-Man is no joke. Wow, looks like somebody made a friend. More like an enemy of an enemy. Starting to think we could use more of those. There's that old Avengers tolerate your spooky strange teammate attitude I was looking for. I know who's going for this month's Team Spirit Award. Hashtag Blade Cares. I have to go train. I just finished cleaning the kitchen from what looked like poltergeist slime. Super sorry, that's on me. I was making a cheesesteak. And the slime? Cheese sauce. I couldn't find the canned stuff, so I improvised. Have you ever seen cheese? How can you even call this fake canned cheese cheese? One of the greatest American culinary oddities. Agreed. You ate like half of it. I agreed it wasn't cheese, not that it wasn't delicious. You know, I don't know at what point Nico becomes a vegan, because they said she's vegan. There is a difference between vegan and various types of vegetarianism, but if you're eating cheese, you're not a vegan. Hunter, are you there? By the way, this is Nico. In case nobody gave you the rundown on how the spark works, Blade and Cap Marvel just filled us in. Freaky stuff, especially Faustus. And then they all just left me here alone. You should come hang out. Thank you, Nico, but I'm tired. Never taking no for an answer.
Come on, Hunter, I know you're awake in there. You just replied to me.
See, there's this recurring theme of Nico not checking the room.
And I'll puff and I'll wait. Yeah, I should save that one for Hydra.
Alright already. Jeez Louise in 2/3.
Good. You answered. Getting hard to keep finding ways to say open door around here. And despite what Robbie says, I don't think the staff of one speaks High Elven. Blood magic stuff. Cool room. Spacious. Aw, is that bed for Charlie?
Yes.
So, if you're planning on giving me some sort of brooding code of the stoic warrior speech, I'm immune. Just ask later magic. From what I just saw out there, whatever crazy ancient living weapons stuff Caretaker put you through back in the day did a real number on you. We got a lot of work to do.
Work?
Yeah, talking to people, making friends, basic human stuff. Or quasi-human. You're a midnight sun now. One of us.
Nico, I was just Hydra bombed. I could use some rest.
You and me both. Been bad dreams every night for me lately. I, keep seeing Wanda. She... Never mind.
I will meet you outside.
Yes! I'll go nuke us some popcorn and you pick out a movie. Oh, and it may just be the two of us. The others went outside, needed to cool off. Really need to hang a fan over that forge. Or maybe crack open the casket of ancient wonders a little?
So, she's gonna take me for my first hangout, presumably. If I don't bump my face into the, oh. Look.
Blade said it was weird that I sleep with my guns. It's called being prepared. Look it up!
Oh, little baby, how are you doing?
Good girl, Charlie.
Oh, everything's closed, so there is nobody. I'm surprised. See, we can't get out there, right? So these two are hanging out. The rest are in their quarters. Caretaker's in her room. This will be a while before that opens up. I'm surprised we don't have access to... I'm still gonna look around because I remember seeing much more frequently common items. Oh, see? There you go. Somebody's gonna get a picture frame. You can't put anything in it yourself. but someone will appreciate it, I'm sure. So we did get our common gift du jour.
If I sneak up on Iron Man and go boo, would he piss himself? I gotta know.
Let's talk, Hunter. You'd think Hydra would learn not to mess with us by now.
Usually everybody has something to say if you're, if you've been through a story mission. Except the others are inaccessible outside.
As long as Caretaker doesn't come up with some busy work in the meantime, I'm perfectly fine here at home.
I just wish that they gave us something like a crystal ball that she could use. I don't think we have a choice. So she's our first hangout.
I know this entire situation's gotta suck for you. Not just the whole resurrected, chosen one thing. I get why facing Lilith won't be easy. I was 15 when I found out my mother was capital E evil.
Was your father there for you when you found out?
Dad was evil too. Long story, lots of drama. There was a cool dinosaur. I'll fill you in later. Look, I'm glad my mother is gone, but yeah, at times I just want to hear her voice again. Some days I'd give anything to make that happen. Makes me hate her even more.
Lilith gave birth to me, but Caretaker was my true mother.
Right, so your adoptive mom raised you to kill your birth mom. You'll fit in perfectly. Enough about our crappy parents. You missed out on decades of good movies. It's my solemn duty to fill this knowledge gap with the best examples I can provide. So, the first thing you need to know, the glowing briefcase is a metaphor. Can we do it again?
Someday. Oh, lots of gloss. How nice.
So, what did you think of the movie?
I understood more than I should.
How? You've been dead for 3 centuries.
I'm not so sure I was dead. Not exactly. I recall a deep slumber, not the void. I dreamt.
Of what?
Of everything. Much of this world is familiar to me. I know it from my dreams.
That's not creepy at all. So, do you know everything?
No, think of it like this. I know what a car is, but I have no idea how to drive.
You're up to date, but not omniscient. Then I'm guessing you don't know much about me.
Just what you shared earlier.
You're always free to ask. Like, what's the staff of one? Or who were the runaways?
You know, I was Hydra bombed, but okay.
I had some questions about your staff.
Sure. But first, the basics. The staff of one interprets words or phrases as spells, but it can only cast a spell once. No repeats.
If each magical effect is unique, do you worry you will run out of words?
Not really. I only use the staff's power when I truly need it. The rest of the time, I rely on more conventional means. Like, you know, magic.
I had some questions about your old team.
The runaways? Sure thing.
Were you all heroes who banded together?
No, we were normal kids. We saw each other once a year when our parents got together to reminisce. And then we found out 2 very disturbing things. First, our parents were supervillains who sacrificed children to evil gods. Second, each of us had some sort of powerful birthright. Our parents wanted us to follow in their footsteps.
What did you do?
We ran. But eventually, we realized only the 6 of us could stop our parents and their dark gods, so we faced them and stopped them from destroying reality as we know it. You know, typical kid stuff.
Who was on the team?
At first, Chase with his mad science gear, Molly, our pint-sized powerhouse, Carolina, the solar-powered sweetheart. Gert had a telepathic link to Old Lace, a genetically engineered Deinonychus from the 87th century. I handled the blood magic, though I didn't understand it much. And Alex, well, we don't talk about Alex.
Where are your friends now?
Molly attends Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. Carolina left Earth to marry alien nobility. Gert... She didn't make it. After Gert passed, Chase and I had a falling out. The last I heard, he and Old Lace are living at his family home in LA. As for Alex, he chose his side, and it wasn't ours. He died with our parents.
I had some questions about your staff.
Go for it.
Can you tell me how the staff of one functions?
It's blood magic, so my own blood is required to summon it. You wouldn't believe how many adhesive bandages I go through each year.
What about the words you speak?
They come true. Kind of, and not always the way I expect. It's like making a wish, but you can never make the same wish again.
I should get going.
Good timing. Looks like Caretaker wants to speak with you, and wow, I should get to bed. Time flies when you're hanging out.
Oh, she left quickly after that.
I'm glad to see you're using your free time productively.
Kinda.
Whatever it is that Faustus knows, he's willing to make any sacrifice to protect it. The next time he's cornered, may be his own life he's forced to take.
I'll keep that in mind.
Looks like you're finding your way around. Maybe making some new friends.
I was planning on getting some rest, but...
Things are moving at a frantic pace. For all we know, I'll be landing a jet on the roof with Mr. Stark this afternoon. Not quite like it was in the good old days.
I remember many sleepless nights and blood-soaked days, always on the hunt.
I'll give you that. But there were times back then I wouldn't trade for anything. With both you and...
Agatha? Where is Agatha?
I'm sorry. I should have had this talk with you much sooner. But you should know... Agatha... She's no longer with us.
What? That is impossible. She was so...
fierce, indomitable, or maybe just kind to a fault.
You do not have to do this.
Thank you, but I do. I haven't spoken to anyone about what happened. And more so than anyone, you deserve to know. Agatha died in an accident caused by her protege, Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. The Midnight Sun's latest recruit, a powerful spellcaster in her own right. Perhaps the most powerful Agatha and I had ever seen. Wanda's abilities were growing. Too quickly for my liking. Agatha was determined to help her control them. I tried to caution her, but she would not listen. There was an incident. An accident, I'm sure, but...
Agatha was killed.
Yes, incinerated in an instant. Not even ash to remember her by. The others were heartbroken, as was I. But I also saw the danger, the threat, if Wanda's powers were left unchecked. So I did what needed to be done. I sent Wanda away, to the Sanctum Sanctorum, to study under Dr. Strange. I know the others still harbor a great deal of resentment towards me for it.
Our first light-dark choices.
Was Wanda so different from me as a child? Was it that easy to send her away?
I didn't have a choice. Wanda's powers were beyond even her own control, and this time I had no Agatha to help me, as I had with you. I thought she would be safe with Strange. On that part, at least, I was clearly mistaken. Ah, Wanda. Agatha. It seems we've lost them both now. I conjured a small shrine to Agatha's memory on the grounds, hoping to find some solace, a way to move forward. You should pay your respects. Maybe you'll find what I couldn't. Good night, Hunter.
The hunter can follow the path of light or dark through the choices they make in the Abbey and the abilities they use in combat. Powerful rewards can be unlocked as Hunter moves down either path. I want to make it clear, if there's a complete asshole answer of one, use the other, or use a neutral one. You'll still get where you want to get. And if there is a card that you value that's opposite, use it. It's okay. There are a couple other things you can take advantage of. For instance, if you're pursuing the dark on a new moon, lounge at the pool. If you're pursuing light, full moon, lounge at the pool. That gives you a point. So there's a lot of little things, but I just did an unstreamed campaign of Light Hunter. It was very fast, and I got the perks. I didn't change, but I could have immediately just turned around and gone the other way and maybe looked into a dark armor as well, because I did max or get the special armor very quickly. So I think even with this express style, we'll still get there. Okay, it seems like Charlie is waiting to take me to the shrine. Oh, my little baby. Okay, sprinting. Press left shift to sprint. You can sprint outside the Abbey Grounds. Well, if I want to, I could do that. But what if I don't want to? What if I just want to, pick this again, and then... Thank you. You're a good doggy. Big day, huh? Still not done. Hello, Ghost of Agatha. And of course, the story about Wanda is not entirely complete, but, you know, nobody was there except her and Agatha does reveal what happened.
Agatha?
You always did have the most remarkable eyes, Hunter. Just like your mother's. Maybe that's why you're the first.
The first?
To commune with the spirits, of course.
Is this a trick of some kind? Because I am not amused.
No, it's no trick, dear. You're just the first to see me. By now you've heard I had a bit of trouble with my corporeal body. I actually find it quite liberating.
You are dead.
Always straight to the heart of things. That's my Hunter.
You seem strangely at ease about this whole thing.
After 1,000 years of living, You learn to take things in stride.
And what have you been doing all this time?
Meet me by the cave just over there. You know the one.
Oh ho.
The Blood Gate? Caretaker always told me to stay away from that place.
I think we can safely lift the veil on a few more of our secrets. What's the worst that can happen?
Okay. Hold on a second, I'll be right there. I think I got my first haven. The Eerie Ruins. Havens. There are numerous haven locations in the Abbey Grounds. Once discovered, a haven can be used for a special daytime hangout with a hero where the friendship rewards are increased. Each haven can be used only once. Each hero can only attend a single haven over the course of the game. You're so good, I love you!
Feeling good today, girl.
Thank you for showing me where Agatha was. You're such a good girl. Remember, it's not just for knowledge and essence, but also you get to upgrade Charlie's abilities. Did I say this was a big night?
This ominous-looking portal is known as a Blood Gate, and you're the only one among us who can pass through it.
Blood Gate? Caretaker's handiwork?
Yes, Sarah got a little overprotective after the accident with Wanda. It's become something of a habit for her.
I have noticed that.
What lies beyond is meant for you, as much as it ever was for her. Assuming you're up to the challenge, that is.
You know I am.
I do. But it's always polite to ask.
Whoa.
Okay, we're gonna do it. We are player 2. We're level 2. They suggest level 1. The Trial of the Elder Gods Oshtur. Now, if we succeed with this, wow, there's a lot we can do. We can unlock Dreamer's Descent. We can unlock Stone Terrace. We can unlock the Altar.
Not what you were expecting, is it? There was a time when the blood stood within these celestial halls to prove their worth. This particular arena belongs to a goddess who often favored Sarah, Oshtur.
Sarah? Caretaker was here?
Nothing ever comes easy, dear. The Elder Gods felt their descendants needed to earn their blessings, which is why they created these trials to begin with.
Trials? I should have known.
This entire realm exists for that purpose. Trial by combat, with no chance of outside interference.
And this is my challenge?
Yes, but I may have found a loophole they never considered. Why don't you try summoning your four-legged friend?
Charlie?
The old gods are responsible for a great many creations, including your faithful companion. I think even they tend to forget that. Good luck, dear.
Yay, yay. Defeat all enemies to complete the encounter. Now, as far as I'm aware,
as the goddess of balance and order, Oshtur was sometimes called the giver of justice. You can expect a fair fight, or at least her idea of one.
Now, one of the things I wanted to mention was Sarah was supposedly the favorite daughter of Oshtur. See, now now we get to really take advantage of Howl. What does that mean?
I am impressed.
To review, whenever you take out a marked character, you can get your card refunded whether it's a quick card or not. And as you know, Charlie doesn't have that. So, excellent. $94. Whoa. Take the big ones out. And when Charlie upgrades, that becomes knockback. So we like that too. Holy Spark. Damage enemy or cure. Come on, we need more cards. We need cards that can do groups of things. And, of course, we can help Charlie along.
Now that was something. I saw a move like that once, centuries ago.
Take them where you can get them. I think we can do it in one turn. I might be overconfident, but I really do think we can. Those can get smacked.
They cannot possibly match your strength.
That was my mistake. But that's okay. Yeah, I should have hit this one first. My bad. Oh, hold it. Hunter. You could take one of these. Oh, I may have forgotten. We'll actually have one left. See, I could have done it in one shot if I hit the right one earlier. My bad.
I have your back.
Oh, big deal.
Compared to our girl, these hellhounds are nothing but murderous beasts. Don't hesitate to strike. They certainly won't. Good girl, Charlie. Oh, and you too, Hunter. You finished this trial, but don't worry. The other gods are waiting.
Ah, thanks a lot, Agatha. Oh, see that? That's my fault. I actually messed up. I can't believe that. I feel somewhat diminished now. Well, let's get rid of this junk. I need a good portrait of my dog. It's never the same when you try to use photo mode on a short animal. See, those are all things I could use in the Abbey. Oh, hold it. Now, see if we can change another pose. I wonder why those sparkles are happening. Okay, we're good. So, yeah, we just got our first word of power. Our next step is to get a moon seal. We could do that. It can be done. I know where 2 of them are. That would be 3, and the 4th one is for a later time. Oh, I'm thinking about elemental rod, silly me. Okay. They give you the first moon seal.
This looks like it belongs here.
The word of power, Oshtur's gift, allows magical locks and gates to be opened. Open will allow you to access new areas of the Abbey and its grounds, which are locked by magical means.
Sarah was right to be wary of this place. But it's your birthright, and I think after everything you've been through, you can handle it now. The 2 of you, as well as your mother, are the last of your kind, the Blood. Your lineage follows an unbroken line to the old gods themselves. And if you call upon them, you might just find they're actually listening. They won't work miracles for you, but their blessings can be quite useful in the right circumstance. Why don't you ask the goddess Oshtur for her aid in dealing with that barrier over there?
Wanda's journal. I'm gonna put that on my checklist here. February 13th, 2020. That's the earliest one. Agatha was just as surprised as I was when it happened. Those shrines out on the grounds, the blood magic. You're not supposed to just walk right in here, but once again, well, here we are. She told me not to worry, but how could I not worry? Trying again the blessing of Oshtur without facing her trial. Trying to gain the blessing. I didn't even know what I was looking for, really. Just some way I could help. Whatever. At least now I can get into Magic's room when she locks me out. Is that what you got it for? Well. Okay. Words of power are magical incantations the hunter can use on the Abbey Grounds. To use a word of power, hold the space bar. Right now we only have one word of power, and it has that symbol up there. And it opens the door.
Blessings of the goddess.
I don't know why the keys didn't show up this time. I'm disappointed.
After all this time, it's still just as beautiful as the first time I laid eyes on it. It's hard to believe Lilith and Caretaker brought this place all the way from Transia. Of course, it was no coincidence that they wound up so close to Salem. This area is particularly attuned to the forces of magic.
That beam over there is our next
That's why the
goal,
Elder God's
Fred.
influence was so prevalent here. And why our sanctuary here has remained all but impregnable over the centuries. And now I'm rambling on like an old sorcerer supreme. Why don't you come see me in the library tomorrow night? Oh, and let's keep this just between the two of us for now. I'm afraid Sarah, Caretaker, isn't ready to see me yet. Good night, Hunter.
Oh, okay, they took the night from us. Now, we're going to be dealing with a lot of that next stream, but we're going to open stuff up in the Abbey.
What you doing, Charlie?
Oh, little baby! You're a good dog. Who's a good dog? You're a good dog! Oh.
Is this thing on? Hunter, please come to the forge at your earliest convenience. Again, that's Hunter to the forge. Thank you.
This, in fact...
Strange out.
This is Dr. Strange's room. In case you've never been there. Now, we can put a picture up. Don't we have a... Oh no, we didn't have anything, No, we actually don't have, do we? Well, we could get away with that. There'll be better ones to come along. And while we're there, Yeah, looks like Strange wants to talk. Well, we'll get there. Now. So we can do this. That's good for a start.
That looks good.
Now, what do we have here? So there's some strange stuff here. I didn't exactly know who the people were in Captain Marvel's room or Blade's room, but I know this. Up on the shelf, the higher picture, is Wong and Bats. Bats is in the current comics. Bats is this dead talking ghost dog. That's the best way to describe it. It's an old basset that was a rescue and stuff. Now on his desk on the left is a picture of the love of his life, Clea. They are together. They had on again, off again, but they are currently together in the comics. I don't think that's really going to change in the end, even if there's a clash of culture or personality. They're really soulmates. Okay, this is Storm's room. She has a lot of wonderful flowers. The moonflower, which is the white one on the left in this shot here, is something that is out in other parts of the Abbey Grounds that we haven't been to yet. And Deadpool once again. Whoa, excuse me, is Deadpool like sleeping? I have never seen this before. This is a new one on me. I've never seen these occupied. I'm not gonna get. He's asleep. Holy shit. Pardon my French, but man, I never seen that. I've never ever seen intruded on any of them. And by the way, here's the water rod. Ta-da!
It is one of the elemental rods.
Okay, so there's a lot of that. Next. You can open stuff up. Let's open stuff up. Let's open this area. It's got a couple of great places to open.
The goddess of order approves.
Down here should be somewhere a... Oh, okay. Usually there's a witch hazel there. There isn't. Here's some... At least to start. Here is a glowing vessel. A vessel created by witches to honor the innocent. Okay. Glowing vessel acquired. When you open new areas, that's when you get more collectibles. I happen to know right in my hot little hands is Justice tarot card. There we go, and of course it's going to be She-Hulk. She-Hulk proudly holds the scales of justice in one hand and a briefcase in the other, ready to face the courtroom. This card represents justice and fairness and righting the wrongs of the world. Oh, and I thought there was a little way out. You gotta come right around. Now, there are other words of power that are going to help things like, for instance, reveal. There's not much we can... Oh, I'll show you that in a minute. There's not much we can do here because the bridge is out. But when we get the reveal word of power, which is the second one, we'll be able to complete bridges and that sort of thing. Now, I just saw something here. The Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. The tarot card, Wheel of Fortune. How come I don't see it? Oh, there it is. It's right near Justice. Domino knows the way in which the wheel will turn. She shows the answer in the playing card she displays. This card represents luck and good fortune, along with opportunity in the future. Okay, well, there's more to do. There happens to be right here in my little hands another place to open. Not very far, but it'll have some items for us too.
Oshtur smiles upon me.
The Whispering Wood, or at least part of it. The air rod has arrived.
Just what I was looking for.
This quartz stone is so light it almost floats. Fluffy white and gray whorls conceal a core of roiling thunderclouds, which emit small bursts of light from time to time. And there's a tarot card. The Hermit. Namor wields his trident with power, but remains tranquil in his strength below water. This card represents solitude and finding the answer sought from within one's own self. Hermits. Crossed. Another thing you can't really get to until you get the final word of power to break.
There are cracks in this wall.
So you could see stuff in there. See that? There's an apothecary vessel in there. And of course, that's also when you'll be able to...
This looks like a fairy ring.
Well, it doesn't, but they calling that here fairy rings, but we need another word of power to get that going. And this whole other area with more fairy rings. But there might be other stuff. Witch Hazel is prominent here, and the sealed vessel, I'm going to remains within are still roughly protected. Okay. Well, there are other areas here. They may have other things for us. I was sure there was also another haven or hangout for us. In fact, right there it is. The Scenic Trail. This is where you often will find Witch Hazel. I think these things activate once you've been here, because you'd think that it would have been growing for a while. And it's only just one little section. This is also something of interest. You don't have it yet, but there will be an offering bowl in this area. Once you have artifacts, you can use an offering bowl. Before that, I suppose there's no point, so they didn't even put it. Or maybe in most cases people aren't ready to access this area just yet. They don't know me very well. Let's try this. I'll bet you there's another place. Death. By the way, death is not a bad card in tarot. Death usually means the end of a phase in your life and the beginning of another. Death stands before the black vortex, surrounded by the prized infinity stones, tempting us with possibility. This card represents transformation and entering a new phase of one's life. Death as an entity figures in Marvel lore, and in the story of the Infinity Saga, the original one, Thanos was courting death and wanted to impress her. I think the MCU did a pretty decent reboot in their own way that stood up on its own. I haven't forgotten anything. I'm just surprised there's nothing here. Usually something like this might have a journal entry or something, but there's absolutely nothing around. It certainly looks like something's happened that disrupted this place. So our second word of power will be reveal, and that in itself is going to be very interesting. Okay, we've been through here already, so what we're going to do after we grab this and maybe a journal page of Wanda's journal from February 22nd. That is actually the second one chronologically. I've said I'm sorry so many times today, I might as well say it here too. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened out there. Agatha and I train at her altar all the time, but something was different somehow. This time I lost control. Agatha could have been hurt, and it would have been my fault. Damn, I need to figure this stuff out. Caretaker isn't looking at me the same. Agatha, makes it look so easy, and I just make everything harder. We'll find a way to draw the elemental energy back to the altar, and we'll try again. We always do. P.S. Somehow I broke the cauldron too. I wasn't even in the library today. Okay, so there's another journal page. We have a lot of activity here. Alright, my favorite days are those with Agatha. That's the Hunter's Journal, July 15th, 1710. She even talks more than Sarah sometimes, but it doesn't feel like a drawling lecture. She's always smiling, and her face lights up when she tells me about all the plants, trees, and mushrooms that we come across. I never thought I would find myself excited to share the healing properties of moonflowers or dryad saddles. Agatha tells me that one day knowing these things will come in handy, but for now, it's just fun to learn them. Well, you know, what's really cool is that even today we use herbs. Witch hazel is a legitimate product, and it has many good qualities. I mean, it's diluted into like 14% alcohol, but it's an herbal remedy. Okay, Moonlight on Mount Lafayette, New Hampshire is another. Got it. Checked. And I see over there okay, so we're good in this area. Let's open some more up. Oh, you're not letting me go. You bad thing. Okay, well, you know what? I know they want me to speak to Doctor Strange. I want that for the next stream. So, let's do the shift and make it go faster. See, Hunter, you're so much more than a weapon. You're fun. Okay, first of all, with the power to open, we can open up my crypt. That's rather important. And And with that,
noble Oshtur guides my hand.
Right inside is
Another
the final of
elemental
our
rod.
rods. Lichen and moss cover most of the stone's earth-colored surface, leaving it on the ground for even a moment, and it's quickly lost among the halo of plants that spring from the ground around it. So we have all of my elemental rods. So next time we need that, they're in hand. Now it's time to open. Let's see how we're doing on time. Now it's time to open Dreamer's Descent.
She believes in our purpose.
Usually when you see something like this, it means that there's going to be a key. It's when the keys manifest. Oh, the reagents! I'm so happy! But there's other things. This won't be ready for us until we have that final word. If you see a crack in a wall, or a pile of rocks that look unnatural, it's usually what it is. Surprised, there it is. Aha! Hunter's Journal, February 2nd, 1708. Let's go to that. February 20th, 1708. Got it. Agatha always makes me laugh. My aunt is so serious. Always. Sometimes I catch her smiling like a little girl, but only when she's with Agatha. With me, she's just serious. The way she looks at me sometimes, I don't think she knows that I see it, but I do. She's afraid. She's afraid that I'm going to be just like my mother. We got a hangout. The sunny hilltop. Really? Okay. Be that way.
Curious.
Small headstones honoring the Abbey's beloved pets. It's always good to look at all these for the first time because that's giving you points.
This rubble looks loose.
See, that's an example of a good break location. The unknown grave.
I was always drawn to this place as a child, but somehow I had almost forgotten about it. That is something.
A doll for my father. I spent extra time on this one. A handmade hunter doll. This doll never had to leave its family behind. Maybe that's why I made it.
Was I ever really this innocent? Maybe before I started my training.
Here's another witch sign.
This is which sign?
A glyph scrawled in bone chalk. Its meaning known only to the witch who wrote it. Ah, we got something here. The Journal of Hiram Shah. This is October 12th, 1688. It's also the first one chronologically. Today, with the help of my loyal followers, I continued work on the foundations of this house of worship. I knew I was called here to this spot for a reason, and praise be, I have found that reason. This page I have unearthed is no ordinary parchment, but whispers to me, calling me to extend my influence and share these words with the people of this village. When he calls, I will listen, for I am his faithful servant. The page whispered to me, and I weep with joy. It is the most clear example of his hand that I have ever witnessed. So from what we heard from Agatha, this Hiram Shaw was under the influence of Cthon through a parchment from the Darkhold. Okay, so there's stuff and things all over here. I'm not done in this area yet. There's a place you can go up here. I might not be able to use it, I'm not sure. Oh, I can go across. Another chest. And a caretaker doll. Caretaker never did like the idea of being idolized in doll form.
Caretaker hardly spoke of him, but I like to imagine my father was a great hero whose spirit protected these woods.
Okay, I guess that's not available to us, but that was.
Intriguing.
Symbolic totems crudely constructed to honor the elder gods. Oh, faded journal page of Wanda, March 4th, 2020. That is the next one in the sequence. We've been seeing her in order. They stopped tending to this grave some time ago. I guess I'm the only one that comes out here these days, so I get it. It's so sad, though. It was hundreds of years ago, but I can feel so much sorrow in this place. But a loss like that, a husband and father, that doesn't just go away. Maybe that's why everything happened the way it did.
What is this?
More of these. For the first time, you do it. As far as I know, we did everything here. We're going to go the other way. Now, of course, this is what we're going to do till the end, and then we're going to line ourselves outside the forge. So if you don't want to see any reagent hunting, you could just meet me at the next stream. We're not going to be opening up any other challenges or what. We are going to be doing mysteries and such. So if you want to know where things are located, this may be helpful for you. See, that's how you get down from here. Doesn't look like anything is here. Because we are going to be moving on to the stone terrace. There's just so far we can go here because we don't have access. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. And not yet. But if you could look carefully, you could see there might be a red flower right there. That's the spider lily. And that will be accessible at some point as well. Now, I guess we'll take this route up. Is there anything new here? No. There is a piece of trivia here. If you look up Midnight Suns, Luke was here on Google or your favorite search engine, you will see a story of somebody whose last wish. Well, they originally wanted to be a character as their dying wish, but that wasn't possible. But they did end up immortalized. Right there. Ready?
Blessings of the goddess.
A stone terrace. Chock full of stuff. We're gonna go this side first. Make our way gradually south. Getting lots of herbs.
Perhaps a witch from the Salem Coven made this.
Okay, December 4th, 1688. That's actually in sequence too. I guess it's based on what you can open up. The people of Salem line up outside, drooling at the chance to be a part of this congregation. I cannot be more pleased with how many seek out the truth within these walls. With the guidance of Cathan and the power within this page, I will set them free. I am the one that has been chosen, and I praise Cathan for granting me this blessing and this power. Yet where there is light, there are always those who oppose it. A coven of witches stalks around us, deceiving my flock and sowing the seeds of distrust. They will be stopped. I don't think there's anything else here at the moment. We got what we got. What else? Well, there is one else. There is an incomplete bridge that we will not be able to access until we get the second word of power. However, we do have another resting place of an original Midnight Sun.
The great seer, known as Endra Moore, is buried here. Much like Nico, her powers came dangerously close to crossing the line. But she was among the most loyal of the Midnight Suns.
Okay. Let's see where I am in my time. Pretty good. Now, let's go looking around. This is also the vicinity of the next challenge. Elder God challenge. Here we go. Hunter's Journal, September 8th, 1712. September 8th, 1712. Now we start jumping. We only have so much time before Lilith's shadow falls upon this ground. Until then, I must continue to train. I must continue to become who I am destined to be. I am the hunter. I will hunt. There we go. Another hangout. The Moist Oaks. There's also here. And now coming here, we can add it to the map.
I need to find the next moon seal.
Agatha will help me with that. Ah, our first cookbook. Arcane Cooking for the Gifted Amateur. Moderate Skill Assist and Rune of Aggression are items we can conjure once we get the cauldron working. Neat. Another one of these. There are all kinds of places where you could find journal entries and items. And at some point, something will be revealed here. It'll make something like that without a reason. I was sure we had something around. I think it's lower down that has
The Standing Stones. There is powerful magic at work here.
When we have reveal, we will be able to see all kinds of things here. But not just yet. Now, before we go any further, I'm going to go along this route. I believe we have a journal entry on their rock, yes. Wanda's journal of March 13th, 2020. So for those who have been chronological, when I first came here to work with Agatha, I used to sit in the shadows of the Standing Stones and meditate. There was a peacefulness here. Maybe it helped me feel a connection to Transia somehow. I don't know. Agatha tells me this was a place that the blood would reach out to the elder gods themselves for guidance. Maybe they can guide me too. Now, when it's referred to as her having a very raw power, it's true. She's a mutant, and Wanda's abilities are a natural manifestation. The training helps her better control them. That's very important.
My old fort. Caretaker was furious when she found I had built this.
This doll was from my mother.
What she was really afraid of.
Before things changed.
I never got the chance to truly know my mother. Only the monster she became.
Another reveal area. Journal page. Hunter's Journal, June 26, 1710. Okay. Sometimes I wake, still caught up in my dreams. I'm running, but seemingly going nowhere. The dream seems to go on and on. It is dark and freezing, and I'm trying to hide and make myself as small as possible, to not be seen or heard. Sometimes there are strange voices screaming from far away, and I'm on my feet again, once again running. I'm never fast enough. It feels like these dreams are distant memories, or maybe something yet to come. But when I shake away the sleep, I'm safe and warm. Agatha and Sarah are here. Everything feels okay. Premonition, huh? Is that another book? Illustrated Mycology. The ink and watercolor illustrations almost jump off the page. Minor heroic essence and a rare gift. Sometimes there is witch hazel up here, but not today. Okay. Nothing as far as I know. So I have my father's, I have... Do I have a Lilith doll? Is there a Lilith doll? I don't remember if there is a Lilith doll. Oh, there is a Lilith doll, caretaker doll, hunter doll, and father's there. So that's complete. So we'll take that route going back down, I guess. And we'll take it to the left where we're close to that location.
I should have known you'd wind up here eventually. You were somehow always here as a child.
If only I had known him. And still you masked even this from me. My own father's grave.
It wasn't you I was hiding it from. I've been making a lot of apologies to you lately. Now, they probably don't mean that much. But I am sorry, Hunter. Lilith's relationship with your father went against our ways, our purpose, or so I believed at the time. It was the elder gods themselves who first breathed life into us. Human notions like falling in love couldn't possibly be part of their plan.
And then you met Agatha.
If only I'd realized it sooner. I might have been a little kinder towards him, especially at the end.
What happened?
A great sickness came upon this area just before you were born. Your father was one of the first to fall.
With all your power, the two of you, you could not save him?
Lilith was a gifted healer, but this was no ordinary plague. The corruption went beyond his physical body. In the end, there was nothing we could do.
What did Lilith do?
She did what anyone would have done. She grieved. But in her grief, she lost herself, and her grief turned into anger.
Is that when you took me from her?
It wasn't long after that. Things started to fall apart before my eyes. I couldn't see another way out but to run.
The plague that turned her into the mother of demons?
No, this was something else, but cut from the same cloth. Your mother was no longer the woman I knew. The sister I had fought alongside for centuries. She was gone.
I have never heard you talk this way before, Sarah.
It's hard to walk the grounds here without churning up so many old memories. Maybe now you understand why I don't venture out here that often anymore.
You were not affected by the plague?
We were all affected, whether we were among the sick or not. I'm sure there was a time when your mother and I both would have just as soon join the dead than continue to watch the villagers suffer.
I cannot imagine you ever reaching that point.
Lilith may have been the most skilled herbalist in the New World. I saw her perform near miracles with the potions she concocted from the plants in her garden. She was consumed by the idea of finding a cure.
But she never found one.
No, despite her efforts, nothing ever worked.
I can see how that would be a dark time for both of you.
With darker times still to come.
Thank you, Sarah. Your timing may need work, but I appreciate the honesty.
Anything for you, Hunter. Anything.
Arcane keys. You've collected an arcane key. Arcane keys can open arcane chests scattered around the Abbey and its grounds. Now, you may want to...
If only it were always this easy to bring a family together.
Now, you may want to hold on to that key, but when you have mystery and you're rewarded a key because a chest appeared as a result of the mystery, you really need to open it, and that completes your mystery. Now, first of all, this. Second of all, I saw when we were talking.
Hey.
It shows the only one. There's a bug. Ah. Look for arcane chests in the Abbey Grounds and unlock them with arcane keys. Arcane chests reset periodically, so return to previously opened chests to see if you can open them again. The higher your arcane level, the more rewards each arcane chest will have. So, I suppose this is now available for me. Interesting that she still wants to talk.
Tell me about my father.
Believe it or not, you can thank your father for those good looks of yours. There is a striking resemblance.
I only have the faintest memory of him. What was he like?
He was honest. A working man, you could say. Authentic. Of course, I still didn't like him, but that wasn't really his fault. I'm old enough to admit that now.
But he loved my mother?
He loved her, and she was smitten with him. As the story goes, they were happy together. For a time.
Until I came along?
You were an unexpected gift, but a welcome one. Your father was very proud.
I wish I could talk with him now.
I know that feeling all too well, kiddo.
They have to stop conflicting. She was born after he died. They never saw each other. And she was an infant when her mother gave birth, and she left the Abbey. So Hunter really did only know Agatha and Caretaker. There's absolutely nothing else that we could say about that. That's exactly what it was. A journal page. Okay. Alright, Hunter's Journal, November 3rd. And that'd be 1712. That's actually the last one. Lilith is no longer the light that she once was. All that remains is darkness. Darkness that wears the face of the woman I once called my mother. I am prepared to lay down my life, for many will perish if I do not. Only one of us shall walk away from the storm that awaits. It will be me, I can feel it. There are only moments left. Is that a book? Foraging Quarterly. It's my kind of book. Full of tips, tricks, and quarterly. The quarterly is a must-have for any foraging enthusiast. Delivery fees apply. Strength tonic and common gift. Thank you. I don't think there's anything over here, but it doesn't hurt to just humor it. Well, nothing's changed. Alright, so we've done a lot. We picked a lot. We discovered a lot. We gained a word of power. It's pretty awesome. And what we're going to do is we're going to stop. Miracle! Look at Chase. He's right here. By the way, you could also open that. But not yet. Tonight, we're going to meet Agatha in the library.
We still have so many more movies to show you, like 70s grindhouse flicks.
I like musicals. Hey, look who's awake. So now you can take him to hangouts. I'd rather wait. Take him to hangouts other times. Havens are basically daytime hangouts. That's going to be fun. Anyway, I'm not going to go in here. I'm going to call it a stream, right? And I'm going to call it a stream. And next time we're going to see what the artifact is. Probably have our first sparring session. And go on some more neat things. So until then, thanks for watching. Thanks for following this far. And if you're one of those people who wanted to see all the things where everything was to collect, then you've been rewarded. And those who stopped hope to look forward to all the acquisitions we do in our battles. Either way, hope you enjoyed, hope you learned, both from my success and mistakes, and my stuttering. And take care till next time.